Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Christmas episode of the Driving Talk podcast. Although by the time this goes out, Christmas will be over. You'll be stuffed full of turkey, chicken. If you're vegan, I'm really sorry that you have to go through that. But hopefully you've filled yourself up for a Christmas dinner. You've got yourself some nice treats, like a nice rock tip bag, maybe.
Yeah,
that'd be a very nice treat.
Perfect Christmas gift for any racer.
I would say a rock tip bag is, or something for the new year. The new race season, you never know. And it's our absolute wonderful privilege to have Will Gibson down here, multiple Legends champion, and a local lad. You're only down the road.
Yeah, literally grew up Camberley my whole life, so used to have my workshop pretty much a stone's throw from here. So yeah, I didn't, post office is across the road, so I've been in there so many times. Company used to get all their MOTs done next door as well, so yeah, never realised you guys were quite as close as you were. Tucked
away in the corner out of the way.
Well hidden secret of Camberley.
Yeah. The lair. We won't tell you exactly where it is, but yeah, Scott on the team at Sandown Motorsport. You've got some nice cars down here, mate.
Yeah, we do usually.
Yeah.
We're a bit quiet. We've got a massive van over there at the minute we're doing, which is taking up a lot of space, but it's a cool project, so get that out of the way and start getting back on with the race cars ready for 2026.
See, I thought you meant the little Legend was the cool car that was here.
Very cool car.
It was a proper cool car.
For those watching on our YouTube stream, the little, and that's is that a latest car? What's the story behind that?
So that one, there's a chap called Mark Stephen that was actually helping Amazon trying to film a documentary on Legends a couple of years ago. And when I won the 2024 championship, he presented me with this little car as a gift, which was our 2024 Auto Screen Championship winning scheme. So got that last year. It was really good. Was looking forward to getting another car this year with electric centre colours on it, and we didn't win the championship. So unfortunately, I'm stuck with just the one. But yeah, it's really good. It was nice of him to give it. It's actually really weird. You can buy these Pioneer stock cars or Skeletrix cars, as we'll say. And then you can custom them and make them. So I wasn't aware of this, and then somebody tagged me on Facebook because they started seeing my car schemes appearing on Facebook.
Okay.
We've ended up making friends with a few people that have done my colour schemes over the years. So we've got the black and orange electric centre scheme. We've got a few of the auto schemes. We've got the white and orange electric centre scheme out there. It's pretty cool. It kind of shows you how far Legends goes. It's not just racing, it's Skeletrix as well.
That is very, very cool.
I think, to be honest, Legends has always been that sort of tucked away part of British motorsport. Yeah. They've got their own following. They're so unique in what they are. They're just fantastic bits of kit. And of course, friend of the show, Richard John Neal, he loves them. He loves commentating on them as well. You've raced these for quite a long. You went from karting to these, didn't you?
Yeah. So I had 1 year of BMW Compact Cups. So effectively when I started racing, started karting, I then set my own BMW Mini Specialist up. So I was working 2 jobs, working at BMW as a technician, running a small go-kart team to try and help fund my own karting. Then when I decided to branch out and go my own way during the last big credit crunch, I had to kind of take a back seat and stop racing. Ended up having a customer phone me up saying, can you repair my BMW for me? Yeah, not a problem. Turned out to be David Drinkwater with his BMW Compact Cup car.
Good old David D.
Which shows you just how many people there are in this local area that race. He dropped it off, convinced me to build 2 Compact Cup cars over the winter. So I built one for myself, built one for my brother, and then started racing those.
He would have been peak Compact Cup back then, wouldn't he?
Yeah, so that would have been either the 2nd or 3rd year the series was around. So when they had grids of 40 plus cars, it was good. It was good to get into it. They were good to drive, and not dissing the Compact Cup, but some of the level of karting, how fast karts are, how much grip they've got, didn't quite tick all the boxes for me to keep me really thrilled. So ended up going to Brands, watching the last meeting of the year in 2013, maybe in 2012. Spoke to one of the teams. They convinced me that Legends was really cheap, really affordable, really good.
Sell the dream.
There's a lot of race series that do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So stupidly went and just basically Part X my compact cup race car for a Legends, and just went literally chips in, I'm going for this, and yeah, the rest is history. So I mean, that car has been destroyed multiple times. We then sold a very broken chassis on, have then replaced it, and then just moved on from there. But yeah, literally started karting, 1 year of BMWs, then into the carnage and fun that is Legends.
Just for the people that don't particularly, that maybe do a bit of club racing, have seen them on the TV, what makes a Legend? What are these cars?
So Legends are space frame chassis. So all Legends start life in Charlotte, North Carolina. They may start as a kit, they may start as a full car, but effectively everything comes from North Carolina, gets shipped over to the UK, now by me actually. So I bring them over, and then I can then resell them on to anyone that wants to have them. They are really lightweight, so we're talking without driver 480 kilos.
Wow.
They run it's about 160 horsepower. At the tyre, it's about 130 horsepower.
Okay.
The whole concept of Legends is it's designed to help drivers that are on the stepping stones of NASCAR. So in Europe, we used to have Formula Ford, Formula 4, Formula 3, a good path going up to being an F1 driver. NASCAR is you start in Legends, go late models, Craftsman's Cup, Xfinity Cup.
Yep.
So Legends is the starting ground. So they're predominantly designed to turn left. We always say going left is half as fun as going left and right. So we race them on proper circuits.
Americans have never heard of roundabouts until recently, so we can see why that mistake's being made.
Yeah, it's quite funny when they do the road course racing in America. You know, you've got some guys who've got serious talent that do well, and you've got other guys that just have no idea what they're doing.
They just can't get the gist.
To add to that, there's a little Kiwi guy that I'm a fan of that's gone over to NASCAR this year and won all the road courses.
Yep.
And I love him to bits because he's come from V8. But the fact that Shane Van Gisbergen's gone out there and done what he's done, they're not a fan of the road course stuff as much.
No, he's somewhat embarrassed them, I think. I'm a huge NASCAR fan. I don't think you can race a Legend and not like NASCAR and like the roots of it. And yeah, SVG's kind of shown them up a little bit.
Schooled.
And last year when I raced in the World Finals for Legends, and you kind of look at some of the setups some of the teams are running, and it's not how we do it back over here. They've got 1 degree camber on one side, 4 degrees camber the other side. The whole cars are
staggered.
Yeah, staggered, isometric. It's just not quite right. But they make it work just about, and I think they learn, especially with a lot of Europeans going over there and racing, especially in the World Finals. I think they're starting to learn a little bit. We as a UK series are hopefully going to take 5 to 10 guys over next year to race in the World Finals.
Oh, fabulous.
Try and show them, see if we can win every class. They've got pro, semi-pro and masters for old gits like me next year. So yeah, it will be good. It will be good.
Fantastic. This is how you win an American race, and it was without a gun.
Yeah, you say that.
But I mean, so back to the car itself. So engine, gearbox, all sealed, same thing?
Yep, so engines, there's currently a changeover transition period. So the National Series run the MT-09 Yamaha motorbike engine. They also have the old engine, which is the Yamaha XJR 1250, which is a 4-cylinder, effectively a 1980s carburetted motorbike engine, air-cooled, which is one of the biggest drawbacks, is it's air-cooled.
Yeah.
The newer engine is a triple, basically has the same amount of power. It's got to be at least 20 or 30 kilos lighter.
Yeah.
Fuel injection. It is actually a modern day thing, not 80s technology.
More torque?
Actually has less torque, but it revs way higher. So we're up into the 12,000 RPM now versus sort of 9 to 10 with the old engine.
Okay.
Locked axle, which is a massive thing. So no diff whatsoever, just literally pinion and crown wheel, no planetary gears. So drives like a big go-kart. New for next year is rear brake discs.
Okay.
We've previously only ever had brake drums. So the idea is you have loads of power, doesn't weigh very much, really crap tyres, really crap brakes, and you're allowed to bump draft. So you then get sent out and race. As far as I'm aware, I know lots of series do bump draft. They're not really meant to. Legends is the only series where we don't get penalised for a bump drafting. It's full on allowed.
You sort of promote it, don't you?
Yeah. And, you know, we take a spare front bumper, a spare rear bumper for every single race, just because you know you're going to use them. And it's really good. It's not as crazy as some people would think. I mean, it's pretty insane when you're at Snetterton and you're 2 or 3 deep into a big long bump draft train and it starts to get a little bit snaky. But most people are fairly sensible and they will stop pushing you when you get to the corner.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Do you kind of find that the more senior people in the series, in terms of the ones that have done it the longest, they'll know it, they'll do the little tells with the bump drafting, they'll make sure end of the straight I'll brake a little bit earlier, let them do what they need to do, I've given them the toe, and then you get the more novice drivers that just think, oh, we'll just bump draft round the corner too.
The problem is the guys that know what they're doing have been doing it for longer. You know it's deliberate when they carry on pushing you into the corner. There is an art to it. It's a really weird form that when you watch the experienced guys, they will push for 75% of the straight, and then just before you get to the braking zone, they'll pull out and dive up the inside.
Yep.
And most of the time, the car will then return the favour and push them down the next straight, but won't dive out, so you really get the benefit.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different with the new engines. The new MT-09 engines have kind of flipped the whole bump drafting thing on its head slightly. Not for the fact that we don't do it, but the toe is so extreme when we click 5th and 6th gear. You catch the car so fast, it's actually quite hard to engage the bump draft without it slowing you both down.
Yeah.
So unless you come out...
So it's that big a hit that it slows you both down?
Yeah, and you either hit them going 10 miles an hour faster and unsettle them and it slows you down, or you lift to then
match their speed.
And match their speed, then push.
You've lost it, yeah.
And so
there's almost a skill in learning that little bit as well with the new engine, new setup. It probably took a while for you all to get used to it, and then you master that craft.
Yeah, and that's right. And especially for this year, you know, I've done Legends for 12, 13 years now. With the XJR engine, I know every circuit in the UK where you pull out. If you want to do the run to the line, I know where you can pull out and you can get past them. I know where you can pick them up and push them. I know all of that. New MT-09 engine, not got a clue. I've never lost so many races by 0.0 something of a second as I have done this year. You know, I think I lost 5 races where I've tried to pull out and get the run on the line to the guy that's leading it, and I've missed by a bumper. And there's been so many photo finishes this year, it's been crazy, which just shows you how close it can be. And it really is a brilliant series.
It looks it, and I'm glad it's kind of got itself onto the Toka package to get the audience, to get the eyes on, because I think the hardcore racers, they'll know about Legends, and they'll appreciate Legends already, but perhaps, you know, I don't know, Dave and Jane at home that just watch touring cars on occasion will look at Legends and go, this is fantastic, more of this.
Definitely been one of the highlights of the Toka packages, isn't it?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. You guys on, you know you're going to get good racing, and it's just entertainment the whole race.
Absolutely.
And that's, you know, I've my old business, I've got to be careful saying new business, my old business is all done and sold. It used to be a BMW garage in Camberley, and it used to be brilliant on the Monday after a touring car meeting. I would come in and I would spend the whole day just talking about racing, because I would have
beautiful.
Customers phoning up, sending emails saying, we were just flicking through the channels and saw you guys, and then sat there for the whole day watching the touring car bill. And you know, you've got people that aren't car guys being drawn into it because they either know somebody that's in it, or they watch one race and then get hooked to it. And you know, I got hooked to Legends back in about 93, 94 when it was the first race. Watched it at Brands Hatch, said to my dad at the time, I want to race those one day. Never really thought it was ever going to happen, and then quite luckily fell into it. So
what were the grids like when they first sort of started out?
So I believe Phil Cooper imported 6 cars, and I believe he approached BRSCC and they said, look, we'll give you a year with 6 cars. If you can't then get a grid of at least 15 for the following year, then you're done.
Yeah.
So he said to his six drivers, go out there and just put on one hell of a show. And I can remember watching Tick Stewart, who sadly isn't with us anymore, drifting the car down through Paddock Hill, having never seen anyone do that before, and it was like, holy crap, these things are cool. I want to watch these more. And that used to be the days when you had Euro V6, Euro V8, Legends, pickup trucks. That was a race build. That was something you actually went to go and watch.
That's what we touched on with Rob, wasn't it? Rob used to remembered watching those when he was running the Euro cars.
Yeah.
It's just a shame there aren't enough bills like that anymore, because I think it would pull more fans.
See, that's we're going to cover this more with club racing going into the new year, because I think everyone knows the Toka package, everyone kind of knows the British GT package, and then in the past few years the truck racing has kind of got its own package. And then it's just clubs. And you're right. You're right. I think there needs to be. I think the MSV circuits kind of do their own days, and they kind of do it their own way, where they go, right, we're going to put on our own days, whether it's a Porsche day or, with modified Fords, 4Power Live, and they put on Ford themed stuff. But there's no package quite right that goes around the country, and you feel that's something that's really missing.
Yeah, I mean, we were lucky enough for many years when Legends followed or were run by Bark, or ran under the Bark umbrella, that we used to support pretty much every truck meeting that was at a track that Legends could race at. Legends can't race at some circuits, Thruxton, Castle Combe. It's weird explaining to somebody that the circuit's too fast. It's not that the car can't cope with a circuit that fast. It's just we'll be flat out most of the way round pushing one another, and we'll just be on the rev limiter in top gear. The cars are restricted to about 120 roughly. I can guarantee you 120 is fast enough for being in a Legend when you're being pushed. You don't want to go any faster than that. So, but we supported the trucks at pretty much every event that wasn't one of those two. And I know they've wanted us to come back, but MSV are doing such a good job with the series, with getting us on bills, and I can see them slowly trying to do this with club racing, trying to get a package of American themed events and putting us around the country. Next year we've got American Speed Fest, which is
massive,
a brilliant event.
I love it.
Yeah, without doubt the best event of the year. As long as you don't write your car off on the Saturday last race.
And of course, in keeping with what you were saying about the ladder out in the US, it's supporting Euro NASCAR.
Yeah, supports Euro NASCAR. We're hoping for next year we'll have at least one American driver over coming to race in it.
Oh, fabulous.
We may even have some of the Legends, the American side Legend media companies coming over just to promote the series. So,
oh wow, yeah,
that'd be massive.
It should really help. Legends US have finally woken up to the fact that there is a world outside of 50 states. And they are trying their hardest to promote Legends across the world, and it's they're trying their hardest, which will be good. So they're giving us a little bit of support, trying to bolster the grids in terms of getting foreign drivers in, which will be good.
Have you got much sort of interest from American drivers to come over here to try some of the UK circuits in the UK cars?
Yeah, so I went as a spectator to the World Finals this year. I had to do some work signing contracts and just speaking to US Legends anyway, so we thought it would be a good time to go over for the World Finals and watch some friends that we've made race, try and support Tyler Reid on who's the UK current champion. And whilst I was out there, people just kept coming up saying, have you got a car for hire? Have you got a car for hire? Really? Can we come over? Silverstone is a big appeal to a lot of the US drivers.
Sort of British Grand Prix is the one that everyone knows.
And
are you pushing them towards another circuit?
I'm pushing them mainly towards, so to me, Brands Hatch GP track. We've got 2 races there, we've got 2 days there, 6 races, supporting the, I call it the GT Fang Tech Championship. But
the World GTs.
World GTs. That's the one I'm trying to push, because that circuit in a Legend is
unreal.
Insane.
In anything around the back, it's phenomenal. To changes the place. It's a completely different place.
And so you can, Brands Hatch is the home of Legends in this country anyway. It's the first place they raced at. It's the circuit we race at the most. MSV allowing us to go on to that Grand Prix track and race it. This year was a bit of an experiment. New water-cooled engines. See how they deal with it, and boy, did it work.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, that's the one I'm trying to push them to come over to because they will love that.
Yeah. And again, albeit you'll probably have the TV from the World, the SRO coverage. Hopefully they do the supports as well. Don't worry about that. Hopefully they'll do the supports as well. But more importantly, you'll have the eyes on. You'll still have you may not have the crowds of a TOCA meeting, but you'll still have the eyes on.
Yeah.
Which is to any series.
If it's on American Speedfest,
packed.
GP, it'd be absolutely rammed.
Absolutely rammed.
Yeah.
Brilliant weekend.
It would be brilliant if just 1 year, or even if they alternated it. 1 year Speedfest was on GP, 1 year it was on Indy Track. Because I think they said there was 50,000 pre-sold tickets for Speedfest this year. It's the touring car events are busy. Sunday, don't get me wrong, Sunday Croft this year was insane.
But I think there's a more diverse fan base out there, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that like their Americana, they like their V8s.
Massive NASCAR fans, and if you can't go over to the States and watch the NASCAR event, that's the closest thing you're going to get to a NASCAR event in this country now.
Yeah, and the fact that they, for some stupid reason, they make the event clash with a touring car. So
it doesn't make any sense because you'd get those fans, because there is lots of fans that like touring cars and NASCAR.
Yeah.
So to have those come over,
absolutely,
would be you'd do over 50,000 people at that place. Easy.
Yeah. And they stupidly, last year it was clashing with Thruxton as well. So you've got two local circuits, really, in my opinion. We're lucky we're smack in the middle. So we're 55 miles or whatever to Thruxton, 60 miles to Brands. For me, if I was a spectator, which one would I go to? Thruxton, where I can't really see the whole track. It's touring cars, probably better on TV.
Yep.
Or go to Brands, American Speedfest, country music stages, American smoked food, Euro NASCAR legends, pickups. It's
the whole show as well. They put on. They really. You've been. So it's everything.
Yeah, the best one. I can't remember how many years back it was now, but when they borrowed Jonathan Palmer's helicopter and flew in a Donald Trump impersonator, landed between Surtees and Clearways, and then had all of the Escalade, UK Escalade club that were there, got all their cars, picked them up, drove them to the start line, and then he started the Euro NASCAR race. It was like
brilliant.
It's only MSV that can do stuff like that and make it work and make it actually quite cool. And that's why I like Legends being on board MSV. It just works. I hope they can carry on promoting it, and we're quite lucky that we're going to be headlining at least one meeting next year as well, which will be good. That just helps, just take the little baby steps, and that's the big thing. If we can make it so that it's not Britain's best kept secret of club racing, and make it so it's...
I don't think you're Britain's best kept secret anymore. I don't know, you've been the TOCA package, you're definitely going to be one of the headliners. Yeah,
and it's, next year we've got one meeting on the touring cars. The Scottish Legends have two meetings. They've got, obviously, Knockhill.
Yeah.
They've got the event at Alton Park that now clashes with American Speedfest, because we have to commit to American Speedfest. Yeah. We'll be in talks with TOCA again for 2027.
How early do those talks kind of take place?
So for me, I wasn't involved in them this past year, so my new role of effectively running Legends is going through its transition period. I imagine when we rock up for our touring car meeting, which is their first one, they will probably start asking questions what we want to do.
Yes.
It always comes down to money.
I would say it's big bucks being on the TOCA package and the hoops you have to jump through just to be in the paddock.
Yeah, it's quite weird. The hoops for the first year were huge. All the drivers were kind of pushing back a little bit. It's second nature to us now. I've put an arm out to the Scottish guys, and I get on with Andrew that runs the series, saying you're going to need a bit of help with this. It's not hard, but they just ask some weird things. And
what kind of things, if you don't mind me asking?
So obviously everyone has to have fire extinguishers. That's fine, but having to make sure they're placed in the exact correct position. A lot of us aren't teams, so tail lifts on our lorries, we get them checked and inspected, but making sure you've got the correct license for it.
Yeah.
Everybody's gone on and done the correct training course for your tail lift so that you can operate it.
Yeah, harness training for awning, stuff like that. Yeah.
That's quite hard. when they said to us you weren't allowed to use any form of ladders for putting your awning up, and then when you start reading through the fine print, and you can use a commercial ladder, you just can't use a household ladder for putting awnings up. Time frames for getting to the circuit. We're Club Motorsport. Most of our series, the guys own their own businesses. When we're having to get to the track at a set time on a Thursday to set up, that's quite hard work.
And then not being able to leave until Sunday.
Yeah, and even with Sunday, packing up, you're not allowed to take any of your awning sides down till the last touring car race has started. Tail lifts aren't allowed to be lowered till the last race, which was always Legends anyway, but tail lifts couldn't be lowered till the last Legends car race had gone out to the dummy grid. And you're reading these pages and pages of documents and you're just like, yeah, this is hard work. But once you've done it a couple of times and you know what's going on, it kind of makes sense.
You get used to it.
Yeah, it becomes a norm, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's always a bit daunting when you're going into a new paddock.
Yeah, trying to hide from the guy that comes around trying to take the charge for the generators. Twigging when to have things plugged in and when not to. It's all the little extra things like that. You go to Brands Hatch, you plug your cable into the power, you don't think much of it. But when it's a touring car meeting, Legends have been spoilt that Bark used to always provide power for us. It didn't matter where we were, we would always have a generator providing power, and it was free. Touring cars, free doesn't exist. Free.
No, it's the AG tax, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and it's normally got a few zeros in it. So when you're paying a couple of £100 for your electricity, it's fine once you've done it a few times because you know it's coming. But the first time when you're there and the guy's saying, "I'm going to unhook you unless you pay this," it's quite hard. So. There's lots of weird things like that.
Can you take your own generator, or is that written in the rules? There we go.
Not allowed your own.
Of course you're not. Of course you're not. Supplied by AG.
Yeah,
100%.
It's special power. So one of the ones which was really weird, which I've not seen this in the last 2 years, but for the first year, we weren't allowed to take any one-use plastic.
Yes, they started doing that sustainable thing, didn't they? So water.
So you're there trying to drink a bottle of Lucozade before you go out on the track, and you're decanting Lucozade in the lorry into
a bottle, your metal bottle,
so that you can then divvy it out. And I don't think anyone got told off for it, but it's like, come on, it's just hard work. It's just extra. I wouldn't say it's. I get the idea of it; it makes perfect sense.
Because it's the image of it, and waste, and motorsport unfortunately has that image problem.
They got an award, didn't they, for sustainability? It's out in. UK Motorsport dropped an email, and if you actually read through the awards, I'm pretty sure TOCA got for trying to help the environment and reduce their carbon footprint as such.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure. I started to read it this morning, and that's what they got.
They just didn't have a look in the rubbish bags of all the teams that are leaving. It's like, there's all the decanted bottles. There's all the trash.
I'm sure the Napa guys weren't decanting the beer off at the end of the season, and Tingham certainly wasn't. Should we take a break?
Yes, time for a little bit of break to reset the cameras, have a bit of a whiz, and then let's get into some proper Legends careers.
Cool.
Okay, and welcome back. We're having a great chat with Will Gibson, multiple Legends champion. Yep. Let's talk about Legends. We've spoken a bit about the car, a little bit about the goings-on around it. How were those early years? Was it a bit of a baptism of fire?
Well, I don't think I finished a race for at least the first 6 meetings.
Your fault?
A little bit. They're quite quirky, so it's hard to get on top of the maintenance. I probably, in hindsight, bought an absolute dog.
Okay. So it was basically mechanicals?
Most of it was mechanicals, diffs blowing up, gearboxes blowing up, me going in the gravel trap, which is definitely a mechanical. So it was a range of bits. We got it sorted. Second year, it was much better. They're a weird thing to drive because it's a motorbike engine. You don't necessarily have to use the clutch to go up or down the gear. Certainly with the new engines, you don't use the clutch at all once you go out onto track.
Okay.
You kind of get a little bit computer game-esque on it sometimes and just hammer it down through the gears. And they don't like that. And what's quite good and what I think's brought Legends into the 21st century is this new engine. It's a lot less quirky. You know, the Legends, I think, kind of had a bad rep with some people about the engines not being that reliable, and if you walked around the paddock, you would see pretty much everybody swapping an engine after every race.
Yeah.
That just doesn't happen now. You know, I think with the MT-09 engines, we had one mechanical failure where somebody had over-tightened something and it caused an oil pump drive to snap. And then everything else was just gearbox related, and gearbox related is down to the driver. It's not down to the engine, it's down to the driver mashing it down through the gears. So it's changed it, it's made it much better. It's made it hard because now at the weekends when I'm looking at the car trying to work out what to do, I'm like, it's all finished and I still have a weekend left. This isn't right.
I like these. These are sounding good.
So yeah, to start with, lots of mechanicals, lots of stupid incidents whilst you get to learn how to drive them. Reverse grids. You've got to overtake a lot of cars in Legends. You know, the biggest thing is you can go out and drive a Legend fast, but if you can't overtake somebody,
you no good.
Yeah, nowhere. So when you start doing that, you start to learn the drivers. You start to work out who shuts the door on you when they probably shouldn't, who gives you lots of space, and yeah, probably rate a few
who's bump drafting you round a corner. Yeah.
Yeah, in, out, and through.
Yeah.
It's I think there was a fairly leery video of Jamie Moylan bump drafting me through Surtees and the touring cars, which, to be fair, we both got through perfectly fine, but it's a little bit leery. I got Richard John Neal screaming a little bit on the commentary.
I don't think there's a Legends race I've listened to or watched that Richard's commentating on where he isn't screaming at the top of his voice.
He's only matched by Paul O'Neill, really.
They're very enthusiastic, aren't they?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. I mean,
the racing's good. It will get any comms enthusiastic.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's as a commentating pair, I think they're perfect for the Legends package for TV because they get it. They get exactly what the series is all about. Those early years, how long did it take you to sort of click into front-running pace?
So our biggest thing with Legends, and kind of a little bit of a delay, was what's quite unique about Legends. We do so many races. You can enter cars as team cars, which basically means you share the car with one other driver or more. Mm-hmm. So 2015, I shared it with my brother Tim. So we entered it as a team car. So I would do one weekend, he would do one. Places like Silverstone, I raced the Saturday, he raced the Sunday.
Yeah.
Sadly, he passed away back end of 2015 from basically rejection from having a heart transplant when he was 15.
Right.
So when he passed away, kind of lost the love of effectively just doing anything for a little bit. So we started 2016 and we did select rounds. So we did the first meeting. And to be fair, it was pretty much then, 2016 onwards is when we found front running pace. We showed glimpses of it in 2015, but the first meeting at Brands Hatch in 2016, probably a little bit because Tim was kind of there, helping push us along. I think we had something like 3 or 4 podiums over that weekend, finished pretty much every single race, and kind of put that stamp on it to show to people that, we really were there to run at the front end. I think we only did 2 meetings that year. 2017, we only did a handful of meetings as well because I decided to get married, which is quite an expensive thing to do, and clashes with racing quite a lot. And then 2018 was full year as an individual driver. Picked up first wins in 2017, actually. An incredibly wet, probably the longest Legends race that's ever happened. We used to have something where none of the safety car laps counted. You imagine you turn up in a Legends, you're at Donington, you've got a 12-lap race. The heavens then open. So normally they reduce our race distances when it rains because the fall off from wet to dry in a Legend is just ridiculous. We're out on track, it's chucking it down. We then have 2 safety cars. You then add all those laps on. I swear I must have been in the car for 35, 40 minutes and soaked through. Somehow managed to win that race and kind of take that monkey off the back. Then 2018, fairly solid year. 2018, kind of showed again, picked up a few wins. We then actually got a new chassis. And when we got a new chassis, it made a massive difference stepping forwards. So rather than running one of the early chassis numbers, having a brand new chassis, nice stiff Chinese steel. It was a lot better from there. And then kind of from then onwards, probably weirdly, the best year I ever had in Legends was the year we didn't win the championship. That was 23. We won 18 races in that year. I think between myself and Miles Rundman, I think we pretty much won 3/4, if not more, of the races in a year just between the two of us. And, when you're doing balloted grids and you've got the same two guys winning every race, I think that kind of says a lot for how on point me and Miles were that year. Especially when the following year I won my first championship and I won one race all year.
Though you mentioned your brother.
Yep.
In doing the research for this, Scott and myself came across a lot of posts about doing it for Tim.
Yes.
Was that a good way? Was it good therapy?
Yeah. Something that I saw years and years ago was an American comedian that said one of the things that helped when his son passed away, and Tim's a brother, but we were very close for our whole life, really, really close. And although he was older than me, I always looked at him as my little brother. Growing up, if he wasn't well, if somebody was at school kicking off with him, trying to bully him,
you sorted it.
I went through and sorted it. Not always successfully, but most of the time I sorted it. When Tim passed away, and what this comedian said was, he always found people thought it was a bit awkward asking him about his son, and whether or not they should ask him a question, how you doing, how are you? Yeah. And he replied with, there's nothing more that he wants to do than speak about his son. So if anyone's ever nervous about asking him about the son, all he wants to do is talk about him, because then it keeps the memory alive. And when I heard that, I was like, that makes sense. That's actually quite a good thing. And the hashtag for Tim was set up by Dunlop, because Tim was an engineer for Dunlop, used to work for WEC, or used to do the WEC and the Elm series. So helped Jota win the 2014 Le Mans series. The Le Mans 24-hour race. I believe it was his strategy that helped them get back onto the lead lap and then eventually win it with I can't remember who the drivers were at the time, but with some top line drivers. But just being able to talk about him, it's really nice when you're in the paddock and random fans come up and they go, "Oh, who's Tim?" And then
you get to talk
about him. And sometimes it may well us up a little bit, but the team that come along with me, which my team are all volunteers, they're all friends, they're all family. Yep. I've even known them from working in the building next to them, buying BMW parts from them, being married to them, or being family. So, we come along, we do it as a team, as a family, and they all knew Tim. So when somebody comes and asks, they like to speak about it as well. And the fact that he raced the Legends, it's quite good, because it just helps explaining the story, and the guys in the paddock all know who he was as well, which is good. So, yeah.
And what was it like racing alongside your brother? Well, racing, you didn't get to race alongside him, but sharing that car with your brother in the early years.
A lot better than when we used to race against one another.
Yeah?
When we used to kart against each other, it was carnage. We did a little arrive and drive karting thing with a few Legends guys. One of the photographers, a chap called Den Devlin, and his son Charlie Devlin, who's a really keen sim racer. And he weighs probably about the same as my right foot. And we were racing around Lakeside go-kart track, and it was literally dive bomb after dive bomb after dive bomb. And I came out and said to his dad, "I've not had a kart race like that for so long. It was like racing Tim. We didn't care whether we hurt one another. We were just wanting to beat one another, and that's all we cared about." And yeah, we were quite sensible that BMWs we raced against each other, but we twigged going into Legends probably wasn't sensible for us to both be on track at the same time as one another.
Could get very expensive.
I can imagine, yes. and to this day, it's always hashtag for Tim.
Yeah, always for Tim. We still use the same logo that Dunlop created. So we actually have a picture. At the I think it was the Bahrain 12-hour race, when Tim passed away 13th of November. the WEC had their final race in Bahrain very end of November, and they had said to us, can you try and delay the funeral a little bit because we all want to come along to it? And we said, yeah. I say we, I had no choice in it. My father said, yes, no problem, we'll do that for you. And they had a brilliant picture of all the Dunlop guys at the end of the pit lane holding a huge picture of Tim as all the cars left. And every car that ran Dunlop tyres that meeting had a For Tim sticker on it. And again, in 2016, at the Le Mans 24-hour race, a fair few of the cars, especially the Dunlop cars, Alex Capadia's car in the second race, I can't remember what they call it, the small Le Mans.
Is it the Road to Le Mans race? That's it, yeah.
Yeah, so that
I was going to say Petit Le Mans then, but that's Road America,
yeah. The Road to Le Mans car, Alex Capadia's car, had For Tim on it. David Meeman's car that he was working on had For Tim on it, and it was a real nice touch. You know, Jota flew me and my dad over there because Tim had been speaking to Jota about taking my dad over there to watch Le Mans.
Yeah.
So they knew that it was something he wanted. So when he passed away, they said, yep, we'll do this. We want you both to come out and experience what he did and just show how much we appreciate him.
And that is probably a story that needs to be told a lot more. That is a manufacturer in motorsport that's the personal side of because life is a lot bigger than motorsport, and for them to do that for you and your dad and your family, that is absolutely
it's a memory. You'll never forget that.
Outstanding.
You know, every time, you know, especially this last year when Jota were going to win, or had a chance of winning Le Mans 24, there is only one team I support in endurance racing, and that's Jota.
Yeah.
And the respect and what they did for both myself and my dad, you know, they didn't need to do that. They actually brought the winning 24-hour trophies to the funeral, and they were up pride of place in the church. It was absolutely
mega.
You know, it was brilliant. They were really nice guys to do that. It was so nice.
Wow,
that's pretty amazing stories.
That is phenomenal. That is phenomenal. And do a lot of people know about this?
Well, the church was pretty packed, so
yeah. I mean, it's again, just to reiterate, that's a story that should be told because that's and everything for Tim.
Yeah, and that's, you know, every race. You know, we won 2 championships, and it's sometimes you think, you know, when you dedicate the second championship to your brother, you think people are going to be going, oh wow, and it's like, I don't. Some people don't understand actually quite how much of an inspiration he is.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just coming over having a cold, horrible man flu, and when you think that, you know, you feel crap and you don't want to get out of bed, well, Tim spent 15 years of his life feeling like that.
Yeah.
But it didn't stop him getting out of bed, getting GCSEs, getting A levels, getting a degree. You know, he still pushed, and I can remember when he had his heart transplant and he was suddenly just like, yeah, I'm good. I feel good. I can go and do this. And, you know, he, one of the stories, I wasn't there when this happened, but it was probably the week after he had his heart transplant, had it at Great Ormond Street. He had pissed the nurses off so much because he kept getting out of bed when he wasn't meant to. They eventually agreed that they could go out for a day trip somewhere. So my stepmom, my dad said, right, okay, let's go to the Natural History Museum. We'll take you there. Mm-hmm. Typical Tim fashion, trips up the second step up the flight of stairs, falls over, rolls down the steps, straight back into hospital. And it's just like, you know, nothing will stop him. And he probably was kicking and screaming, being taken back. But, you know, even a week after the transplant, as soon as he always said to me, it's people that have lung transplants, when they wake up from the hospital and they take that first deep breath, they go, wow, that's what it feels like to breathe again.
Yeah.
And he said that's kind of how he felt with the heart transplant. It's like, wow, I can go out and do this. And, you know, he won, people may not know, but they have something called transplant games, basically the same as the Olympics, but for people that have just had transplants, be it kidney, liver.
I didn't know
No.
And it's supported around the world. It's really good. Lots of people just sharing sporting achievements and going and enjoying themselves. And Tim represented the UK, the transplant games for Hatfield, which was the hospital that he eventually got moved to. And yeah, he would go and compete in long distance running, and he would be saying to me,
Wow.
Will, I'm like one of the best guys at running. It's like, this is crazy. And he really had that appreciation of how lucky he was. So he wanted to keep pushing and keep trying. So, you know, when he went and raced, I think he finished 9th or 10th in the Easy Kart World Finals in Italy one year with a transplant. You know, there's not many people in this world that have had a transplant that can then go and race in a FIA sanctioned karting event and place in the top 10. So yeah.
That is honestly amazing.
Yeah.
And you see why there's so many people. Tim's one of those people that when you met him, he left a lasting impression, and in a good way. And you know, that's what's always nice. There's people that, it was the 10th anniversary of him passing away in November, and I had people messaging me saying, we still miss him every day. I had somebody messaging me saying, I now run his race number because I just in honour of him. He used to always run the 52, so he karts with a 52. Yeah. It's, you know, this year when we had Trevor Krause come over from America and race our spare car and we put the 52 on it, you know, it was pretty emotional. And I said to him, because he had said, can I run my number? And I said, you really have to run one, so we're going to do the 52 and explain the story to it. Yeah. The guy's never met him, doesn't know who he is, and even him and his family were touched that they were allowed to run that number. So
means a lot.
Yeah, means a lot. So yeah, he's, you know, we miss him pretty much every day. Well, I certainly do. But to be able to sit there and talk about him is, yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, that is good.
And race on in his honour.
Yeah.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful story.
There's a lot to be said for someone like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But they're always the best ones always go early. Yeah. Because they leave the longest memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we, on his headstones, the Bruce McLaren quote of, life isn't measured in years alone, it's lived on achievements. And it's like, well, you know, he had 30 years, but bloody hell did he get a lot of achievements in 30 years. Yeah. And left a lasting impression.
Outstanding. So you move forward for Tim, and you start to get the race wins, new chassis. When was the point where you thought, I can go for this championship now?
So I think when we came out of COVID, I think the COVID year, I generally thought I had a pretty good shout at it. So 2020, you know, don't get me wrong, Legends it's basically the Champions of Champions series. Everyone that races in it, especially at the top, has won either a karting championship, oval championship, has raced in NASCAR, they're all good. 2020, I thought we had a really good chance. Obviously, a year got cut short. 21, again, thought we could have done it. Too many silly mistakes, which...
Driving mistakes?
A bit of both. Some preparation, you know. I was very busy trying to make my business come out of COVID without it falling on its knees, like many people were.
Yeah.
Probably didn't put the time and dedication into the car I needed to. Learned a lot in that year. You know, pretty much everything's done by myself other than engines at that point. All the engines are sealed, so you can't rebuild your own. So we'll send the engine off to Mike Fancy, get him to rebuild it. We can still do valve clearances, make sure it's not going to blow up, try and do bits like that.
Maintenance stuff, basically.
Yeah, maintenance. And then chassis repairs. When we swapped over to using Matt Roach for our chassis repairs and shaving our tyres, that's then when it was really like, we've got a really good chance now. Yeah. And then, we went into, kept picking up the race wins, kept getting people saying we've got a chance of doing it, kept moving forwards. 2022, I think we finished third in the championship. Got close, but not quite close enough. Yeah. Then 23 was when we had the 18 wins, really
smashed it.
Really smashed it. And I mean, we were on a massive back foot because we had a lot of issues at the beginning of the year. Yeah. And actually, I'm missing a year out, which was probably the 2019 was actually the year where we really thought we had a chance of winning it. So part of the reason we had the new chassis is I decided to see how good a Legend is in the air, and barrel rolled it 4 times. At that point, that's when we got the new chassis, and that's when we really found the pace. from that meeting onwards, I think if you started at round 2 and went forwards, we probably would have only just lost the championship by a handful of points.
Yeah.
We really did well that year. So that's why into the COVID year, we thought we had a really good chance, because we thought, right, well, we've got the new car, we should be good.
Sort of a blessing having that accident in order to get the new chassis then, basically.
Yeah, but don't tell anyone that I said that. It's... yeah, it was one of those things. I mean, I got some pretty cool pictures out of it as well. Got a lot of fans from that crash.
Yeah.
I bang on about it way too much, but it was a good one.
If you're going to do it properly.
You don't have small crashes in Legends.
It would appear that is the case. Yeah. I mean, there's been a few it's probably the downside of the Toka paddock. When the incidents do come like that, the big incidents, they're broadcast, and there was the big one at Donington. And obviously a lot was made about that, and everyone's like, oh no, but
I mean, the cars are so safe. So Legends have been around for just over 30 years. There's 2,500 that race in America on short ovals with concrete walls. They've been in the UK for 30 years.
And they race a form of them on the ovals over here as well, don't they?
Yeah, it's a much... it's quite weird. So in America, the Oval Series, there's some humongous budgets. You know, you've got Kevin Harvick's son racing in it. Most of the former Cup champions have raced in it. There's big budgets in it. Their road course racing is more of they do that for fun. Over here, I would say it's slightly the opposite way round.
Yeah.
The Oval Series is just to have fun. Don't get me wrong, there's guys in there that are chucking everything they've got at it, but you know, the ovals in this country just aren't what they are in America. They're not like a Dominion oval that's massive banking, really fast track. Over here, the professionalism really is in the road course, the circuit racing cars. So, yeah, it's one of those things. I think with the road course racing here, and certainly with the paddock and the crashes that we have, I know in this country there's never really been any serious injuries. I believe in America, in the whole time it's been going on, there's only been 1 or 2 people that have been hurt. And you're talking 30 years of racing a spec car, 2,500 and racing in America. It's crazy. You know, you don't have other series where you have that. They are so strong. America are always working on them, trying to make them even better. Even in the UK, we've added extra bars to try and make them even stronger and even safer.
Yep.
The development never stops on the safety side, and Legends are good.
So you're liaising with America, and America liaise with you.
Yeah, that's right. We added an extra seatbelt harness bar after an incident at Knock Hill, just to try and improve the safety that little bit more, and basically change where the seatbelts are mounted. And I think that made a big difference. You know, when you pull your belts tight, you actually feel them they do more. Rather than pulling you down into the seat, they pull you back into the seat, which is good. And I've approached America, shown them pictures of them, tried to get them to make that a standard bar on all the chassis. So, which is good. You know, even things like in America, they're now starting to follow suit with cut-off switches, fire suppression systems. It's coming on, which is good. It makes it better for everyone. As I say, when the series runs across the world, we all run to slightly different regulations. You know, they don't run reverse boxes or reverse gears in America, but it's an FIA rule. We have to run them over here. So, you know, they've looked at doing it, and if we can work with them to make something that's sensible, that doesn't lose lots of power, then they'll go over and do the same for their cars, which is good.
So those championship years, obviously sort of 2023, 24, and around the sort of same time, we've spoken about this several times, Toka comes on the scene, and the Elite Cup kind of becomes its own separate entity, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So effectively, you're fighting for 2 championships. Would that be right?
Yeah, and so the Elite Cup's made up of 3 rounds. It's its own like micro championship is probably the best way of describing it. The first year it ran, they were completely separate. Points you scored for Elite Cup were for Elite Cup only. Points you scored for the main championship were main championship only. That made it hard because people were focusing just on, you know, certainly the first year, we had a contingency from Ireland that were coming over, and all they were doing was racing in the Elite Cup. So it upped the quality of the field and made it tough. Fortunately, since then, they've combined it. So the overall championship, every race counts. The Elite Cup is just its own little series inside. One of the weird things with Legends is every race counts. There's no drop scores, so every race in the Elite Cup counts towards the Elite Cup. Every race in the National Championship counts towards the National Championship.
I like that though.
I do.
I sometimes, I mean, drop scores can be a good thing, but it can also be I think it can not taint, but
You see, I'm not a fan of drop scores. It's always muddied the water slightly for me, and you've always got that count back, and then there's a little bit more gamesmanship within the championship instead of just going all out and the best man over the course of that championship season.
But then at the same time, I mean, it wouldn't take any previous seasons that have done it, because you're racing to the rule set that year.
100%.
Like with the V8s, I mean, technically, drop scores were in effect when Alain Menu won the second touring car title in 2000.
Yeah.
If they had
Max won with drop scores this year in the Boxster Cup as well.
Yeah, so it's good to actually see a championship that doesn't have it though, because probably consistency helps
Massively. You can win the Legends Championship and not win a race. As I said, I won my first championship and I won one race all year because it was just consistent. Finishing second, finishing third. And I've always been taught since I started Legends, if you finish fourth in every single race, you will win the championship. There is no ifs or buts, and
anything higher than fourth,
is just a bonus. It's also massive points. You get 200 points for a win. You get 5 points for a DNF. So if you're DNFing, if you're inconsistent, if you're crashing,
it's a huge amount of points drop.
That's a huge penalty. So that's why that fourth place is the average. That's what we always aim for. And that first year was kind of how I would describe it, as a Colin Turkington type year. Just get the seconds, get the thirds. Don't worry about it. We were quite lucky. We got a fairly big lead at the beginning of the year in the championship, and literally just picked up podiums, was happy to push guys around the track, let them take the win and I'll take the second or the third. It's probably the most sensible thing I've ever done in my life, to be fair. It's very rare I race with my brain, but that season, I really did.
Let's delve a bit more into that after we take a bit of a short break.
Yeah. Penis.
We're back, and I've nicked a hobnob. So
I bet you can't say that with a mouthful.
It's not what you said a second ago either.
Thanks, Will. So talk us that consistent championship year. Talk us through it. It's always good to get that duck off your back.
Yeah, I think so. I think especially that year, the reigning champion Miles Rudman had walked away, decided he was going to go and race Porsches, I believe. So I've gone into the series as the vice champion, obviously having a fairly dominant year in the year before in terms of wins. Everybody's saying, well, this is your bag, you've got to win this.
The pressure.
So proper pressure. Fortunately, Cadwell Park, first race of the year, go out, smash it, win the race. Job done. Only race I won all year. And then it was just consistency. The Elite Cup that year, all of my bad luck was in the Elite Cup, which is fine. I was more than happy for that to go away. We had always said to everyone when they announced it, the main championship's all we care about. We don't care about the Elite Cup. Main championship is all we want to do. Just solidly finishing, even like the last round. Get through the Saturday. Still got a fairly hefty points lead. I think we were something like 450 points ahead. 3 races to go on the Sunday. We know that we can win it on the first race. All we have to do is just beat the chap that was behind us, or actually even finish within 5 places of him, and we've won the championship. Unbeknown to me, he got turned around at the second corner. I'm just driving around, just counting the cars in front of me. And, we had said to the team, if at any point I need to do more, put a board out and tell me. And I will push and I will go that little bit harder. Otherwise, I'm just going to put my hand out the window and just let people come past. And Yeah, just drove very sensibly, just kept going around, let people, I wouldn't say
Waved them
past,
just
but
not going to fight as hard as you usually would.
Yeah, just didn't get involved. And that year at the awards do, John Mickle, that's raced Legends for a long time, actually said to me, one of his drivers was racing against, well, both of his drivers were racing against me. I was leading the race, and Ollie had probably the look of, he was probably 200 metres back, and he showed his nose into a corner, and I just jumped out the way and let them go through. And when I said to him, I know you told him to do that because it was a very John Mickle racing thing to do, was show your nose when you've got no chance of making it. Yeah. And he just said, yeah, well, I know you're going to drive. I've seen you drive all year. You're just going to let them go past. Third place for you, not racing either of these guys in the championship. You're just going to let them go, pick up third, take the points, go on to the next race. And yeah, it was a pretty emotional, that first Sunday race when we came across the line, the big pit board, huge pit boards that we borrowed / stole from Matt Roach, all customised up. So, spent a lot of time customising how to spell Tim on the bottom line as well, which was quite cool. So we had the 4 and a Tim with a 3 upside down and a lot of black duct tape to hold the 3 up. And then I had a pretty crazy party that evening at the track. Okay. So,
can you remember much of it?
I can remember doing donuts in the paddock at 8 o'clock at night.
I love that.
Yes.
The video of me nearly wiping out my friend's camper as well still gets shown every now and then.
Beautiful. We need to see that video.
It's, that was... the last race on that Sunday actually got cancelled because the trucks did what trucks do, which is crash and destroy crash barriers. So.
Yeah. Put diesel everywhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
So as soon as they said that race is canned, we were literally on it. And we were really lucky. We got given a double garage to ourselves that weekend. Okay. And it was packed, literally packed with friends, family.
The rest of the grid?
A few of them. Everyone came and said congratulations. Not many of them stayed and got drunk with us, but a few of them came and pretty much everyone came and said well done. It's a friendly paddock. The rest of them kind of just wanted to go home, I think, rather than stay at a cold, wet Brands Hatch. Even randomly, the guy that lives across the road from me was there, and he came along and said well done. Very cool. He said that he had followed Legends, never twigged, seen Will Gibson's name mentioned, saw one day in the programme, Farnborough, that's weird. And then he said he looked out of his bedroom window once and saw this big lorry pull up opposite him on the pavement and offload a Legend and stick it down the side of the house and drive off. And he then came and found us and became a fan, which was pretty cool. So
similar. I clocked you down where you used to have your unit.
Yeah.
Didn't twig when saw slippers and was like, hold on a minute, I know that.
It's that lorry's growing a lot of attention. Before we actually finished wrapping it and putting the last stickers on it, I think people used to think it was a police wagon because all black lorry, 7.5 tonner. It kind of looked a little bit weird.
Suspicious. How was that when you win your first championship? Was that pure elation? Was it relief? Because I'm always curious, as you know when because obviously you know what it's like when you get your first win, that ducks off your back, and it is just that massive outburst of yes. Did you have the same thing when you got over the line with the championship, or was it I can't believe this? Were you emotional? How were you on that in lap?
Pretty damn emotional on that in lap. To me, it was more relief than anything because it was the yes, I can do this, and yes, I did do this, and following the journey through, starting the journey with Tim and then doing it, it was just, job done. We came to Legends wanting to win it as a family. And I think even in one of the speeches I said, we came to Legends as a family, we lost a few along the line, but we've done something that we only ever dreamed of doing. So it was pure relief. So we were quite lucky that race was live streamed, and I did 3 interviews, one with the circuit, one with the TV, and one with the championship PR guy. And everyone in the garage at that time, there must have been 30, maybe 40 people in the garage when we pulled in. And I swear to God, there was not a single guy with a dry eye, I had one of my customers that was in there, 6'5" Polish guy, built like a brick shit house. And when I turned around and saw him bawling his eyes out, I was like, yeah, this is pretty emotional. So it was relief, emotion. Yeah, it was just crazy. Completely different to the second year, is what I would say.
Yeah.
Talk us through that second year.
Second year
was it just a different mindset?
Yeah, second year was a lot harder, I would say. Completely different. Rather than being out front from the word go and just kind of pacing, controlling it, just making sure we were where we were. The second year was an absolute dogfight. The whole way through, everything on track, off track, absolute dogfight. Won it by effectively one place is pretty much how I would describe it.
Yeah.
So going into Autumn Park, about halfway through the year, I think I took the lead of the championship halfway through, 3/4 of the way through the year. Managed to get a small gap going into the last meeting, which was just a one-day meeting at Autumn. Absolutely, that year, for some reason, in the dry, we were absolutely rapid, like really fast. In the wet, I don't know what happened to my ability to drive in the wet, but we just lost a little bit of the edge. And I think some of it is you end up driving too tight. You're too concerned about finishing, so you don't just go hell for leather. So you kind of back off a little bit. There's no point risking it. Just get it home, get the points. And we rock up at Autumn, spend the day testing on Friday, bang on lap record pace, wake up Saturday and it's pissing it down. So we know we've got a fairly comfortable lead. Go out the first race, Jack pulls out, well, basically closes the gap massively, gets it to the point where I don't think he quite took the lead, but he got really close. Next race, beat him, so it gave me a 10-point lead going into the final race. And obviously with Legends reverse grid, we're both starting at the back, and you just know you've got to put head down and go for it. And I can just remember being a little bit more calm there. If that was the year before, I would have probably choked.
Just being tight. Yeah,
just being tight. You know, it dried out. I knew I was quick. I think I was the only one in my team that knew I was going to win it that year. You know, my wife I've never seen her so nervous in her life. Scott, my mechanic, was bricking it. You know, the whole team were scratching their heads going, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I'm like, try. It's fine. We're good. We're good. This is fine. And yeah, we had a titanic fight going through the field, and I knew as long as I stayed ahead of Jack, I would win the championship. The mirrors and Legends are pretty crap, to say the least. You know, you can't really see much, but you know, Jack got onto my bumper multiple times, and we were running, coming through the pack bumper to bumper. And to be honest, the point was coming on to the last lap, we got Robert Barrelball had cleared off in the lead 7 seconds up the road, and the fight for seconds, there was about 6 of us racing for it. And as we dropped down the last corner and started coming up the hill, I'm looking in my mirror and I'm seeing Jack getting a huge slipstream from me, the cars ahead. And as soon as the cars ahead fan out, I'm like,
shit.
Yeah, this is big boy stuff now. I've just got to go flat chat. And I somehow drove around the outside of pretty much all of them round the first corner at Autumn. And that then put 2 cars gap between me and Jack, which was all I needed. By the time he then got back in front of those 2 cars, it was too late for him to put a dive bomb in the last corner. And on the last lap, as we dropped down the hill to come up to the pit lane, I could see there was a yellow flag out because there was an incident.
So you were home and dry?
Yeah, I put my fist through the rear view mirror. So the rear view mirror you can't see anything out of. I was celebrating so much, I put my fist through it. And yeah, that was absolute jubilation because we'd had such a tough year. You know, my dad hadn't gone to all of the races because he wasn't perfectly well. And to then actually get on top of it and win that, literally last lap, first corner, driving around the outside of them and coming across the line was pretty epic. It was.
If you're going to win it, it's around the outside. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, the party that night was nowhere nearly as immense as the first year. That was absolute jubilation, but was completely exhausted after it. It was literally like, I need a beer and then I need to go to bed because I am done, I am spent.
So that was the year you had the pretty iconic photograph of you on top of the Legend, arms in the air.
Yeah, I can remember. So the photographer that took it, George, as I pulled into the pits, I'd been given the previous year permission to do donuts after the last race. So that was the only gutting thing that we didn't get the last race was I wasn't allowed to do donuts. And I kind of question with some clerks as to how much they would allow me to do it without giving me a points penalty or fining me. So
yeah, I suppose asking for forgiveness is easier than permission, but if it comes down to point deduction, you're like, yeah, I'll pay the fine, I don't care what the
But
fine is.
you just know there is going to be a clerk out there that isn't going to see it. He's just going to be like, no, factual, you did a donut, here's a fine. And it's like, mate, come on.
All you've got to do is look at the C1s when James Poulton pushed one of the other cars back to the pits that had broken down and he got penalty for own points on his licence. They don't always see why we do what we do. And
Yeah, and then the clip went viral and everyone was like, how good is that?
Yeah, and that's, you know, when I couldn't do the donuts, I was like, fine. So second year, won the championship, pull into the paddock. I love George to bits, real nice guy. He's been with the series for 30 years, does all the photos. I opened the door and he's saying, well done, well done. And I went, stand back and get a picture of this. And I thought, as I was getting on top of the car, I'm either going to fall through it or this is going to look epic.
Luckily, it looked epic.
And my feet were perfectly positioned so I was just where the cage is, because any bit forwards is just fiberglass. So it was quite lucky. But yeah, that was a cool, really cool picture. I've got one of my friend's daughters has a video of me jumping up and clambering up on top of the roof as well. So
that is the picture. I'd love to do it. I'm saving that for a championship.
Could you imagine me doing that on the Focus? I'd dent it. that cage is only rated for so much, mate. No, sod that. I couldn't do that to my poor car. Not quite 2025. Well, the year just gone. But close.
Yeah, very close. You know, Tyler Reid is epically fast. You know, through his karting years, he is a seriously quick driver, real nice kid as well, like really, really nice. You know, one of the things, it's really hard to be angry when he beats you when you get out the car and he's got a smile from ear to ear. And not a, ha ha, I beat you smile,
Just really happy.
he's just
oh my God,
it.
I'm going racing and it's brilliant.
Yeah, and he loves spending time with his family, loves racing, just enjoys it. And he's a clean, fair racer, and we have epic races. And I think once you've won a couple of championships, it's, you know, you want to keep going, but every now and then you have to go, you know what, I am pretty bloody lucky to be doing this, and to be having some titanic battles is just cool. And with Tyler, I genuinely thought it was going to be tougher this year than previous. New engines, new way of driving the cars. I thought we could beat him. About halfway through the year, we just had too much bad luck, and it comes down to that consistency. 2025, first year for a long time, I've had 5 DNFs in a year. Unfortunately, a few teething issues with the new engine package that are all sorted now, and then a couple of silly incidents, and suddenly you find yourself chasing your tail. You know, that's...
You had an unlucky one at Donington Park, didn't you, in an accident that wasn't your fault, bumper hooked up, and...
Yeah,
that's when she's just not smiling on you.
Yeah, and I think the point when I realised this championship's probably gone was Crofts at the touring cars, starting the race, going into the first corner, somebody moves to the left, taps me up into the air, I land back down all four, and you think, okay, this is just about all right. Yeah, the car in front stopped because he spun the car in front of him, so he's hit the brakes not to hit him, and then I've just gone up the back, locked bumpers, into the gravel trap, and stuck there. And I was just like, this is just unreal. It's, you know, you can't make that up. Croft in a Legend, to me, is probably the one circuit where you do not push into the first. There is nothing to win at Croft at the first couple of corners. Yeah, and I preached that to Trevor Krause when he came over. Do not try and push into the first corner. It will just cause a crash. And yeah, well, I'm driving like Miss Daisy and get wiped out. So that was kind of the point where I thought 2025's kind of done. We needed a small miracle, and the only way we could have won it is if Tyler had lots of DNFs. And
it's not really.
It's not how you win a championship, by wishing bad luck on someone. So.
Is it those quiet moments when you, not so much after the incident, when you're annoyed and the adrenaline's up? Is it those when you're driving home, you're running through in your head of like, I don't quite think we can do this. it's those when you're really thinking to yourself.
So I sat in the car, I think, was the point where, when the marshals run over and they say, "Are you okay?" and your head's slumped down and they're thinking you're unconscious, and actually you're just deflated.
You just, for fuck's
sake. And that's, I knew at the time, that was, I think with the fact of doing it for so long, you just know it's going to be tough to come back from that and to claw back, especially when I was stood there watching Tyler drive away from the field. You're like, how the hell am I going to claw back 195 points I'm losing in this race? It's just not going to happen. So it was one of those, that race also gave me something that I never thought I would do, which there's a quality picture of me stood there at the first corner by the crash barrier, hands on my head, watching Trevor Kraus thrown out the inside of Peter Barrable, with Trevor racing with the 52 on it, me thinking, oh my God, he's just about to wreck that car. But that was pretty special. That was the first time I've watched for a long time someone that I've genuinely wanted to win go out there and driving the wheels off of something, which was pretty cool. So I would have rather the championship than watching him race, but it is what it is.
But 2025 has almost spelt a new era for you with the Legends. So you're going from competitor to champion to owner.
Yes, it's a big step and something I feel quite blessed to have been given the opportunity to. Quite lucky that in the past I've run my own business, very successful business, and managed to sell it. Was currently just doing driver coaching for various companies, working for myself, and was approached by Simon Belcher and Phil Cooper that run the series towards the latter part of the year to say, we're at the point where we've had enough, it needs fresh blood, fresh eyes, we want to focus on what we're doing. So they said to me, do you want to buy the series off of us, effectively? So 2026 is going to be a strange one. It's Simon Belcher's involvement with Legends is now done, other than probably racking up a bar bill at the awards do. Phil is going to be there helping me next year, and we're kind of co-running the series next year. I, as a driver, know the driving side of Legends. I know the PR side. I know how to run a car, set a car up. I don't know what a race organizer does. So Phil's going to be there and kind of mentor me for most of next year.
You're going to be learning some new things.
Yeah, it's going to be strange being in a clerk's office and not getting a bollocking, that's for sure.
So are you stepping away from driving to run the Legends?
Yeah, I need to focus all my attention on running the series, getting it, keeping it as good as it is. So I've always thought it's a bit of a conflict of interest if the guy running the series races in it, especially if they run at the front. If I was running around at the back or doing pit lane starts on purpose, then fine. But that's not what I'd want to be doing. If I was in the car, I'd want to be trying to win.
It's the competitive juices, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a conflict of interest. I need to be there, running the series, being the person that people come to, selling them the parts, trying to help all the drivers out. That's what I need to do. What I'm quite lucky with Legends is, I've already mentioned, it's raced across the whole of the world. They've just had their Vegas road circuit or proper circuit racing this last weekend. So I'm never going to stop racing Legends, but I won't be able to race them in this country. Next year I'll probably only do one Legends race, which will be the World Finals in Vegas. Luckily, turning 40, I get to race against older boys now rather than all of the young guys at half my age. So we'll be going out to Vegas and trying to run in the Masters to try and win the World Championship. It's that's the big thing. I think if we can go out there, win that really then cements me in the history of Legends racing. And we're hoping to take a team over there because it would be pretty epic for Tyler to win the pros. Any number of UK drivers to win semis, and for me or somebody like Pete Parable to win the Masters would be just fantastic. It's big changes. I'm hoping I'm going to bring a lot of new lights to it, some fresh ideas.
Is there anything you've identified already?
So one of the key things there is in this country, there's a couple of two-seater Legends. I now own one of them. We're going to be bringing that back out onto the track and taking prize winners, commentators, anyone that we can squeeze into the car and taking them out and doing hot laps before races. MSV have already given us the sign-off for that, so certainly every MSV race that we run, MSV will allow us to take the two-seater out and do a lap before, effectively do the green flag lap at speed.
That would be mega.
Which, unfortunately for whoever pours swords in the passenger seat, will be me driving, at least for the first year.
I think we should campaign to get ITV to put Richard John Neal, mic him up.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
To toke around.
Yeah, I was thinking it's got to be between Richard and Paul O'Neill. I think
if you could get two.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, you've got a couple of toke around, so you could do one commentator for one, and
we've got the 3 races on Saturday where they're not commentating, so we've got plenty of time. The only problem with Paul is, he's a driver coach. He has been in the passenger seat and been driven round by kids, which is the scariest thing in the world.
Put a blindfold on him.
Yeah. Whereas Richard, I don't think Richard's been out on track, so he's...
Oh, he has. He's done a bit of ovals and back in the day. There's a few old photographs. But if Paul starts pointing in directions and just slap his hands. Just shut up and enjoy it.
Well, what I'll do is I'll just go on YouTube and do Legends Crashes highlights. And probably say, oh, that one's me, that one's me. Oh, yeah, that one's me.
Go and sit in the trailer and watch this for an hour.
Yeah, I know every crash barrier at Brands Hatch intimately. So
if there's a few of the two-seater Legends kicking around, it'd be quite cool to have a race with a couple of American speed testers.
I'm pretty sure the Fun Cup do it during the 24 hours, don't they?
Yeah,
where they have two-seater Fun Cups that go out during the race with people that pay for the experience.
Oh, could you imagine?
I couldn't think of anything more scary being in the passenger seat of a Legend during a race. The thing's huge as well. So it's the same length as a normal Legend, but it's
like
about
a bit of, yeah.
It's about 1.75. It's not quite double width, but it's wide. It is very wide. So
have you got it fully branded up, Legends?
So it's currently in its 25th year anniversary, which was the last time it was run. We're going to brand it up, actually, fairly SVG colour scheme. So we're going to put it white, red, blue colour scheme for next year. Get it out on track, and the first time it's going to be out is the MSV Media Day, where Joe East, who's pretty much the boss.
Donington, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. It's Donington.
I might have to come along for that.
Yeah, if you come along, bring a crash helmet, jump in the passenger seat. If it's raining, make sure you bring a spare pair of clothes.
It's been a while since I've been in a windowless car.
If to be fair, even if it's not raining, bring a spare pair of clothes. And yeah, we plan to do, as long as MSV are happy for us to do as many as we can, we're just going to keep doing hot laps all day long on that media day.
It's a great way to sell it, because the touring car with the Unlimited, they're doing hot laps at the minute with the Cupra, and it's really, really popular as a kind of to get
as a concept,
to get people in. Yeah. So to do that would be absolutely fantastic.
And we've already had drivers that race in the series that have sponsors that we've told them about it, and they've said, well, if we do a sponsors day at a circuit, can you bring it along? And we said, not a problem at all. Just cover our costs. We'll take the car to the circuit. We'll sit in there. You just put your guests into it, and we'll take them around all day long. And that helps all the drivers. It gives them another. It's so hard to get sponsorship, as you know. Really if you're just saying to somebody, we're just going to stick your sticker on the car, you're never going to get anywhere. Whereas if you say, oh, these cars are quite quirky, oh, by the way, we can also do hot laps in it if you want to, hopefully that will just help people get sponsors. And
to experience what they're actually, the sticker on the car doesn't go very far anymore. It's what you can offer the brand, and you've got to sell the dream to someone, and something like that would be absolutely fantastic. I know it works. I've used it before with the C1 and stuff, and I know it's only a C1, but it goes a long way.
Yeah. So
to do that and feel it, then they can get their head around and understand it. It's a massive marketing tool.
And it just clicks, doesn't it?
Yeah, huge marketing tool. It's fantastic.
Just a quick, before we go to another break, because this podcast is flying along, it's fantastic. But before we go to another break, just a quick word on Simon Belcher. He's been involved with Legends for a long time. A lot of people would know him, obviously, from touring cars and throwing a Toyota into Church Corner a bit sideways. But a quick word on Simon.
Yeah, Simon's a great guy. He's been involved. So he's raced in Legends for a long time, probably 20 odd years now. He has partially owned, supported, run Legends for the last 16 years. He helped fill out a lot during the last credit crunch and basically took on the commercial side, all the part side of the business. He's been brilliant in the transition as well. He's helped me, the amount of documents. He's basically a hoarder. He keeps everything. Every document, every Excel sheet he's kept and forwarded on to me so that I've got an understanding of what to do. He's allowed me to keep some of the stock there just to make life easier. And yesterday we had a chassis being exported to France, which he was quite happy for me to do from his premises, which was good. So, Simon is, he's had some big crashes in touring cars. He had a bloody big crash in a Legend at Anglesey as well one year. So
it's another track. Every crash is a big crash.
Oh yeah. And he's focused on his jet skiing at the moment. A lot of people won't know he is a world champion jet ski
multiple
rider.
world champion, isn't he?
Yeah. And he's racing against guys that are literally half his age, maybe even a third of his age. He'd probably get pissed off if he heard me say that.
He will.
Yeah. But he's focusing, he's fully committed on that. And to run Handy Distribution, which is a huge organisation, to run the Legends part side, and then to focus on trying to win a World Championship jet ski competition at 51, it's pretty damn hard. So something had to give, and he thought it was the right time for Legends to be moved on. And he's actually probably boarding a plane now to go to Thailand to compete in this year's World Championship race. Best of luck to him with it. He will be at the awards do racking the drinks up, I imagine. And I've got to say, Legends probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him helping. Phil is the pioneer and the guy that got it over here. Simon Belcher's the guy that's carried it on and got it to where it is now.
There's a lot to be said for that.
Legendary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Legendary. Before we go into, the most important part of the podcast, which is the top 10 shootout, just a quick word on Scottish Legends. So obviously there's a bit of a separate, but a good working relationship with them.
Yeah, pretty good. So Andrew Donald that runs the Scottish series, they run to slightly different rules to what we do. Not massively, but just very slightly different. They kind of probably follow the American rule package slightly more than the Nationals does. Andrew runs a great series up there. It's open to slightly more people, I would say, in terms of budget and Legends cars. So they run 3 different versions of engines up there.
Okay.
1250, the first version of the water-cooled, which is the FZ09, and then the MT09 engine. Not a lot, but reasonably less money to race in. Their entry fees are less than ours are. Their regulations certainly on air-cooled engines, they're fairly open. It's different. Next year they're running and doing 2 touring car meetings, so it will be good for them to do that. They get very, very good grids. They're probably going to have 34 cars on the grids for those 2 touring car races.
Wow.
If they behave and they drive sensibly, then they'll put on a really good show. They just need to learn from the Nationals' mistakes. 34 cars when we did touring cars did not work. It was utter carnage. So, hopefully they will be good. As I say, Andrew, who runs the series, get on with him very well. He gets on with my whole family. I've been up there already once to speak to them all and tell them all that have taken over. It's quite strange. With Legends, you have importers, so I not only own the series, but I also own the import rights of the cars. So in the National Series, all the parts, to try and make sure there is no cheating, all the parts are security marked, making sure that they're definitely correct parts, they've not been modified, they are what they should be. So I sell parts up into Scotland, so they are a large customer of ours. So the rules are a little bit more relaxed. They don't run to the strict parts have to be stickered, so people can buy parts from America and bring them back over. But moving forward with what I'm doing, they're not going to save any money really by doing that. So,
so is that the Knockhill round and the Croft round? They're going to be.
So they are Knockhill and Autumn Park. So I believe we were offered Autumn Park, but it clashes with American Speedfest, which is still the best club race meeting in the country by a country mile. and it has country music at it as well. So, so that clashed. So we couldn't commit to doing that one. So I think that then got passed on to the Scottish Legends, and then obviously Scottish Legends, Knockhill, the two go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So, you know, it never made sense why the National Series drove all the way up there to do it. That should have always been Scottish Legends.
Yeah.
Hopefully next year the Nationals will have 2, maybe 3, and the Scottish may have 1 or 2. So that would be ideal. So if you had a year of Scottish and Nationals filling up most of the touring car bills, that would be good.
That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
I think it would be obviously if you're a regular listening to the podcast, we've spoken about the support slots maybe needing a bit of beefing up and bolstering
definitely.
with the touring cars, and I think Legends is perfect for that.
I have one. I've just thought of this actually.
Go on.
Well, you know, you go and do your World Series out in America, and there's drivers going up there. Could it possibly happen whether you did this bi-yearly, but you basically had a knockout race meeting with the Scottish, so you could have
Sort of a Calcutta Cup.
Yeah.
So we have had it once. They did it, I believe, about 2018 when we raced at Anglesey. The Irish came over because there's an Irish Legend Series as well, which is very popular.
Yeah.
We had the Irish, the Scottish, and the Nationals all there. That was the point when we pretty much all ran the same tyres, all had one engine, which was the air-cooled engine, so it was a lot easier to do.
Yeah.
The problem was certainly for the national drivers. I believe that year we did 52 races in that season, and we are, or certainly then, were limited to only 4 engines for a year.
Right.
Most of us were fairly sure we would have been pretty close to that 4 engine limit, so a lot of the national guys didn't do it, only a handful.
Yeah.
But it was quite good. It is something that I want to look at. I've already spoken to MSV about a potential winter championship.
Yeah.
The National Series used to run a winter championship where, as long as you hadn't finished on the podium in the overall championship, you could race in it. So it gave new drivers a chance. The guys that finished on the podium could hire their cars out. So if we could get one of those potentially more Midlandsy based and get the Scottish down and get the national guys.
Maybe some Europeans
as well.
And a few Americans over.
The Americans will love it. The Australians want to come over as well.
Wow.
You know, they want to do almost a World Series of it at some point. So, you know, the Americans may be open to doing something where drivers jump from country to country to country, and then there's an overall world ranking driver. So that would be pretty cool if we can get that to happen. We need to get the cars a little bit more the same.
Yeah.
With the National Series, in my opinion, is a little bit more advanced than some of the others, but the others are coming back up to that.
Would you do like a racer champion style thing where you could supply all the vehicles, so you could do a small sort of thing? You know, if you catch my drift.
Yeah. So one of the things that we can do is, if we can make it so it's the middle of the year or end of the year, we could have it so drivers can hire their cars out to foreign drivers coming in, or even hire it to Scottish drivers coming in, and I think that would work quite well. We would probably change the format if we did one of these meetings to actually put qualifying into it. That's how they run the World Finals in America, and I think that just makes it slightly fairer than the balloted grids. The balloted grids and the reverse grids works perfectly. But if you're going to make a world championship out of it, you really have to follow some protocol. The quick guys will always get to the to the front on a balloted grid, but if you have 20 of the best guys,
that's not going to
it's not quite fair. So it's all things that we're speaking about. I actually spoke to the Australian dealer and main guy yesterday. I speak to America quite frequently. It's stuff that we want to plan to do. If we can unite everybody again and get the cars all the same again, then it will be pretty cool, to be fair.
That'd be brilliant.
Very cool. Right, it's time for a top 10 shootout, or top 10 plus 1 shootout.
Are we ready?
I think we're ready, Scott. Take it away.
Red sauce or brown sauce?
Red sauce.
Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Movies or books?
Well, unless you've run out of tea like you did earlier.
Oh, we got tea, just numbnuts here, forgot the milk.
Are you movies or books?
Definitely movies.
Good. Race weekend or boys weekend?
I don't think my liver can take any more boys weekends, so it'll be race weekend.
Are you a text or a voice note person?
Text.
Good shout, see. If you could have one person narrate your life for the rest of your life, who would it be?
To narrate or rate it?
Narrate it.
Lightning McQueen.
Interesting. That's been an answer to a different question, but we'll come to that.
We'll come to that one. One lap shootout. What track and against who?
It's got to be Brands Hatch GP, and I'd probably say Tyler Reid that won the championship. He's probably the fastest guy I've ever raced against, so it'll be nice to beat him once more around Brands Hatch GP. I only did it twice this year, so.
Wet race or dry race?
Growing up, wet race all day long. Now, dry race. A lot less. It's a lot more predictable.
Manual or paddle shift?
So Legends are sequential, so I hate right foot braking, so paddle shift. I am a left foot braker all day long.
Fair play. Senna or Schumacher?
To be honest, I didn't really like either of them, but I'd go Senna.
Okay. And the bonus question.
Mm-hmm.
If your car could make one noise when you press the throttle, what noise would it be?
Brum brum.
Every time, brum brum.
I think that is.
When it doesn't make that noise, I'm worried because it's probably broken.
We've had Kachow. We've had the sound of a V6 because Rob was older. Yes, so I don't think he quite could get the concept of it.
No.
So we've had Kachow. You've got Hoyer.
Oh yeah.
I've got Kool-Aid guy, so every time I press the accelerator, it'll be oh yeah. Yeah.
I think Max had a Kachow again, didn't he?
Yeah, something similar. That really stumped him. He
did, yeah. He couldn't. Yeah. Actually, no, he didn't give us an answer. I'm going to have to get onto you, Max, about that.
Yeah, we're going to get onto Max. What?
Yeah, I need that over a voice note.
And now we've got literal brum brum.
Yeah, see, I was thinking of Brum as well, back from the old Cars show.
There we go.
So we are going to have to definitely voice over an onboard lap with these.
I think we're going to have to. Actually, no, it's going to be me, isn't it? It's going to be me doing the editing. I'm just going to get around it. Rob, you need to get on with those videos. Yes, Scott. I don't know how the hell I'd do it, but.
Well, the brum brum's got to be the first noise because that's you start the engine, press the throttle, and it goes.
Every single time, on off, on off. That's why I went for the yeah.
Well, on that note, it's an absolute pleasure for you to come down. Poacher turned gamekeeper now.
Yep. With
winning multiple championships in the Legends and now owning the Legends.
It's a big change.
A big change. Good luck for this year. We will. Well, good luck for next year. We're still in December, but we wish you all the luck. And we will come down and see you at times during the year just to check in and see how it's going. Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much for having me. I'll definitely see you at Silverstone for the Citroen C1 24-hour race. Definitely. Bit of C1 24 hours. Looking forward to it. Hopefully I'll be there with mine. Fingers crossed. And then we'll try and squeeze you guys into the two-seater at some point. Definitely be a big squeeze with me. So you might get more success with Scott. Can he drive it? Huh? You're going to need 2 seats at the minute, aren't you? Yeah, one for each arse cheek, I think. But for now, from Scott Evans, from myself, Rob Lewis, and from our honoured guest, Will Gibson. Thank you very much. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.